Well, welcome everyone. It is Thursday evening. It is 5 o'clock on the West Coast and 8 o'clock on the East Coast, and time for the Learning Wing here at Online Techniques. We do this every week, and sometimes it's good, and sometimes it just sucks. But I have a hunch that this one's going to be a good one, because what we're going to do is a continuation of what we were doing actually 2 weeks ago. Now, I want to preface this a little bit, that when we did the audio files lesson a couple weeks ago, it was in my mind that it would lead to this. However, I didn't really put it together that way. It was just sort of, how to put audio files on your blog. And but when I made the slides, of course, I called it the gateway to podcasting, which it is. You have to know how to put audio files on your blog, the fact that you need a player. You can't just stick them out there. And if you put, a link, if you upload an audio file into your media library in WordPress, and you just take the link and put it in a blog post or on a page, what you're going to get is something that forces people to download the file before they can hear it. And that's not what you want. You want a player, so you have to get we went over the whole thing. You have to get your a player, the right code, and that has to be done with a plugin in your WordPress blog, and you have to use that. And so you can't get. Rally says he can't get the audio working. What does that mean? Now? Are you hearing me now? Or do you mean you can't get the audio working when you upload a file? I just want to know if I'm understanding what you're saying there correctly. If Rally doesn't reply to me, I suppose that's going to mean that he can't hear me right now. We've been having funny room problems here all day. So are you guys hearing me? Can I get an answer in the text chat? Okay, you can. All right. So I'm gonna take it, Rally, that you mean you can't get the audio working using the plugin in your blog. All right. Contact me, and we can go over it again. I did make a video of that lesson, and it can be kind of touchy. I'm gonna put the video up, but I wanted to wait because I wanted to find out if we're gonna have any troubles tonight. What happened was we did that lesson, and then I realized I called it the gateway to podcasting, and I actually realized that lesson is podcasting number one. It's the basis. You have to know how to get a sound file onto your blog to understand how to set up a semi-automated podcast on your blog, and what you're going to have to do. And I decided to keep going on from there. When we got to last week's lesson, if you guys remember last week, there were a lot of problems with the GVO rooms. And this thing tonight that I want to do is very technologically complicated. I'm going to be showing you how to use a program to edit audios and to mix audio tracks. And you have to hear that on, in the room, and I'm recording this at the same time, and the movie has to get it, so things have to be coming out of my speaker, and they got to be going in the microphone, and some of it's coming from that editing program, and some of it's coming from the room, and it's kind of complicated. So this whole, I didn't want to do it last week when the rooms were being so temperamental. So we put it off, and now we're into podcasting part 2. And I held off on last week's movie because I want to find out if I'm going to have trouble tonight. I may just have to go back and do a whole series of, not live videos, just pre-recorded videos to make this make sense. If we have technical problems tonight. I don't think so. I've rehearsed it as much as I, rehearse anything here. And I think we're going to be okay. And if you guys will bear with me and give me a little support with this thing, I think it'll be a really cool lesson. Now, how many of you guys have listened to a podcast online? Let me see. Give me a yes or a no in the text chat if you have ever listened to a podcast episode. Okay, we're getting some yeses, we're getting some nos. Well, let me tell you the most important thing about podcasts. Podcasts are traffic. Most of them are registered at the #1 podcast registration place in the world, iTunes, which is, what is it as far as Google and Yahoo and Bing are concerned? It is a highly ranked authority site. Links from iTunes to your own blog are highly powerful. They're very, very powerful. They hold a lot of what we call link juice as far as Google is concerned. And it's really simple for you to get a semi-automated podcast on your website that's indexed at iTunes with links, just with keywords and everything else, and links that come right back to your website. Now, I say a semi-automated podcast. If you guys who are, members of the Online Techniques blogging workshop, if you're using Audiogo, the Audiogo button on your blog, guess what? You already have a podcast registered at iTunes. That's what Audiogo does. It uses a computer voice to read your blog posts, and it turns it into a sound file. It puts it on your page, and it registers it as your podcast at iTunes. So you already have one. And if you go to iTunes and search your keywords, or search your name, or whatever you call your blog, then you'll find it. If you go to iTunes and you search Online Techniques, for instance, you'll find me. Now, but there's a difference between that and what I call a semi-automated podcast. Now, a semi-automated podcast, how many of you have ever been to SteveGaghagen.com? Give me a yes in the text chat if you've been not to the Online Techniques website, but to SteveGaghagen.com. Okay, if you look at the blog post pages themselves, not the blog page where there's a lot of blog posts, but on the dedicated page, have you seen that thing at the top that says, listen to the podcast here? Give me a yes if you've seen that. Or actually a yes if you ever clicked on one of those and listened to it. I don't know if you would have or not, because the blog post is right there. But every blog post on that blog, Don has, is actually a podcast. Most of them are. And when you listen to it, you hear there's an introduction, there's a theme song that plays, and then my voice comes on and says, welcome to Online Techniques, my online podcast dedicated to, helping you learn to make blah, blah, blah. Okay, like that. And then the audio is simply the audio track from the video that is in the blog post below. That's why I teach people when they make a video for a blog post, teach the blog post. So they've got good information in the video. Don't just say, read that below. Don't do that. Tell them what it is. Explain it as if it was a separate entity, because that gives you better content to distribute to YouTube and GVO, Easy Video Producer. So, Tony's heard it. Okay, so what we're going to do tonight, what we did last time, it was 2 weeks ago in the original lesson, I gave you access to a program that will strip the audio from your videos. And what we're going to do tonight is the next step. It's how do you make all that, where do you get the music, and how do you put that together with your announcement and your introduction and things, and then you got an outro at the end, we call it or a tag with the music, and then join us again next week or in the next episode, blah, blah, blah. How do you put that all together? Because now at the end of the first podcasting session, we ended up with an MP3 file from our video soundtrack, and that's that's the first step to doing this. But now we got to come up with some kind of a template. Now you only do this once, and you create your template, and then you simply stick different audio in the middle of it every time. okay? And you can do this very easily simply by stripping the audio out of your videos. And they become very nice little podcasts that you can just stick on the blog post, and boom, the way we're going to teach you to do this creates a feed when you do that with iTunes and registers this as a podcast. But the first thing we have to do, and the only thing we're going to do tonight, is we're going to create our template. We're going to go in there and actually get some music files, and we're going to get a program and learn how to you do the basics in a program so that we can edit together a nice little introduction and a nice little tag so that we have a place where we can stick our content and give it a form. Does this make sense to you guys? Am I making sense? Give me a yes in the text chat if you're following what I'm saying. Okay? Cool. All right. So what we're going to do is, number one, we're going to get your auto recorder and your editor. This is a free program called Audacity, and it's a really, really powerful program. It's a great little thing to have. Once you learn how to use it, you will use it like crazy, because it's really wonderful and it's free. Then we're gonna get your bumper music files. Where bumper music is a radio term, television term. And it's intro and outro music, or commercial music and commercial breaks and things like that. And there are all sorts of places that you can get it. We're going to get you some tonight. And then we're going to go into desktop sharing, and we're going to create your podcast template. I'll show you how to do that. I mean, I'm not going to create yours. You got to create yours, and everybody's is going to be different. But I'm going to show you how to use these first two tools to do that. And like I say, this is very, technologically heavy on my poor old computer here. And there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things working together here tonight. So if we have any problems, please bear with me. I'll clean it up in post-production. All right. All right. So now the first thing is we got to get our sound recorder. I'm going to give you a link here, and you can go there anytime you like. Hold on, let me put it in the text chat. That is a place where you can, will take you to the Audacity site. I made a redirect for it because it's really long and complicated. Now, you want to make sure that you get the beta version. You get the latest version. It's a lot better. It's the one that has all that they're updating now. Eventually, the other one that's there is going to be obsolete. And it has all the bells and whistles. It's really nice, and it's not like a normal beta version. It's actually been in beta for a couple of years, and it's very, very solid. So if you go there, that'll redirect you to the page where you want to get it. They've got it for Mac. They've got it for Windows, so whatever you want, it's right there. Now, you're going to want to be making MP3 files with this. So you also need to scroll down on that page, and I'll show you in a minute what I'm talking about. We'll visit this page first before I get into how to use this. And you want to download what is called the LAME MP3 encoder. LAME is an encoding codec. And you want to download that and execute the file. There are instructions there that tell you how to do it. It's really very easy, and all you have to do with that thing is do it once. It'll put itself where the sound recorder and the mixer knows where it is, so that from then on you can export your productions as MP3 files. And that's what you want, because that's what you put on your website. Okay? So number one, we will do that. We will get you your sound recorder and your mixer at that website. Then, we need to get you your bumper music. Now, I'm just going to be a really, really cool person here. I'm going to give you this. Put it in the text chat there. That's a link so that you can go and download a zip file of a lot of really good bumper music. Now, this is not just, if you guys go online and put bumper music or music tags or free bumper music or stuff like that, you will find a lot of stuff. But this is, there's some really cool stuff in this. Things with sound effects built into it and stuff like that. Some of the things, about 4 or 5 of them, come out of the library of Camtasia. However, the rest of them have all been put together over time, and it's a really cool collection of bumper music, some rocky ones, some classical ones, all sorts of things that you'll find in there. And they come from many different programs and many different sources. So, you know, if you want to keep your unique sound, go ahead and use those. Don't spread them around too much. All right. So there's your collection of free bumper music. It's very cool, and it's in a zip file. You just download it from the Online Techniques website. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create a podcast template. So we're going to use the Audacity sound recorder. We're going to use the bumper music files, and we'll create a really great podcast template. So are you guys who are in the room, are you with me so far? Following what we're going to go on, what we're going to do. Does anybody have any questions that we need to get to before we actually do this? Okay? All right. Everybody's with me so far. Cool. All right. We're going to have to go to desktop sharing. God only knows what happens when that happens around here. The room is acting much better than it acted this morning. So, all right. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to shut this down and go to desktop sharing. You guys should be seeing the Audacity page. If you can give me a yes in the text chat and let me know when you see that on your screen. Okay, so here we go, guys. Yay! We're working. This is the page, when you go to that Audacity page, this is the page that you will go to. Now, this is the download page for the beta version, and if you scroll down here, you'll see what you want to get is for Windows XP or Windows 7 or Vista. You want to click this one here, the Audacity 1.3.14 installer. It'll take a minute to download, and you know, then it's an executable file. You just run it, and it'll install the thing. Down here, they've got a whole bunch of other stuff that goes with this, but if you want to export MP3 files from your productions, which you do, then you need this puppy right here, the Lame MP3 encoder. And if you click on this, you'll see you're going to go to a page that gives you complete instructions on how to do this. And all you're doing is you're going to, you know, it mainly is you're not going to change anything that it says. You're just going to run it, follow the setup instructions, and it'll put it in the place where the program expects it. And you won't ever have to worry about it again, no matter what version you have of Audacity. All right? So this is where you go to get it, and all you have to do is get it yourself. And once you do, you will have this little thing. It's a very cool program, okay? And you can record in here. You can record things. You've got, you know, microphone settings and speaker settings. Here's your speaker settings, microphone settings. This is displaying a little weird because I've got this small. When you go to full size, this line appears over here, and this line appears over here. So when I make it small, it condenses everything in here. And this is a very, very cool, very powerful program. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with a piece of bumper music. Let me open this up right here. Whoops. Let me go over here. Oh, where do I want to go? Let me show you first what you're going to find in the in that thing. In My Music, under Bumper Music, you're going to find all these files. This is all sorts of different music files. All right? And what I want to do is, and they're all, you know, they range in length. This one's 24 seconds long. This one is 22 seconds long. Some of them are longer. Here's 35 seconds. And they all, they're all different things. So I've decided that the one I want to start with is called Loop 4. So if you read the Audacity instructions, it's going to tell you that you want to start by recording your own narration. I don't like to do it that way, all right? I want to see how much time I have first. And I want to get the feeling of the music. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, I'm going to go to Import Audio, and I'm going to go to my bumper music, and I'm going to import loop number 4. That's the one I want. So I'm going to open it, and it's importing it, and there it is, guys. Now look, it's showing me waveforms. This is my left and my right. This is a stereo mixer. And it's one track is my left and one track is my right. And what I can do, I can change the volume of this. I can do all sorts of things. Now, when I record, I'm going to record, I can pick places in here. I can jump around. I can go back to the beginning. Oops, stop, go back to the beginning. I can mute this track when I'm working with something else. I can move it in a timeline, backwards and forwards. If I go up here and select this time shift tool, I can actually move this so that in my production it doesn't start at all. There's no sound playing. But when we get over here and it gets to where I've moved the sound, guess what happens? There it is. All right. I mean, this is a highly powerful tool. I'm going to move it back just to the beginning. Okay, so we're at 0. And are we at 0? Yes. Okay. And boom, there we are. Because I want the music to start right at the beginning. But you see, I can split it. I can make a section where where the music just stops. All I have to do is go here. And I'm on play. Boom. And go back. Whoops, I'm still on. I hate that. Which tool? There we are. And I can select an area like that, and I can split this. I can split this, and I can move this part back if I want. So I can do all sorts of things. Are you guys following me at all here? I hope. I'm going to stop talking about it and just show you what you need to worry about. All right? Now we've got our music. We're going to have a narration over this that is going to be an introduction. And, I'm going to let some music go by. So let's listen to the beginning of the music. Alright, just about 9 seconds is a good place to start. I don't know if we want to let that much music go by, but we can. Let me hear it once more. I'm going to start earlier than that. I'm going to start at about 3 seconds, right about here, okay? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the record button. Now, I've got my microphone hooked up. It's the same microphone you're hearing through this. This is really nice because you can actually record with this at the same time as you're making a movie. Think about this. If you're making a video using your webcam and your microphone, you can have your microphone hooked up to this. You can click this button before you start talking, and you've recorded an MP3 version of your audio from your video already without stripping it. So you can save yourself some time if you want to get into doing that. But right now, if I click the recording button, it will automatically put in 2 new tracks down here where my voice will be recorded. And we'll show you that. Let's see. I'm going to... Oh, no, that won't work. All right, because I've got the screen kind of compressed here, the other ones will appear down here. It'll be hard to see them. We'll have to traverse to them, so to scroll down to them. But anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So I'm going to click this record button, and I'm just going to record what I want to say when I get to about 3 seconds. Here we go. Welcome to Online Techniques. Oh, hold on. I made a boo-boo. I want to get, see, this is the track I'm recording. Right here. And it's picking up, because the microphone's right by the speaker, it's picking up the other one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of what I just did by clicking that little X there. I don't want it. And I'm going to mute this so that it will not play back. All right? And it's muted right now, but I'm still going to see this 3, and I'm going to know when we get over here or wherever we are when I end it. Okay? Are you following me? It's very loud and scratchy when I do the playback. Can't actually hear the music. Okay, we'll take care of that in a minute. So let's go and do this first. Welcome to Online Techniques. This is my online podcast where we talk about all the things you need to know to learn how to make money online. We've got a really good episode for you today. Sit back, relax, and learn all about making money from home on the internet. Welcome to Online Techniques. And stop. That's it. Now we can look at where we came in. See, I've still got plenty of music left to do here. If that's really loud and scratchy, I'm going to move these little speakers a bit. Maybe that'll be better. Okay, now I'm going to unmute this. I'm going to go back to the beginning, and let's play what we got. Welcome to Online Techniques. This is my online podcast where we talk about all the things you need to know to learn how to make money online. We've got a really good episode for you today. Sit back, relax, and learn all about making money from home on the internet. Welcome to Online Techniques. All right, now, first of all, could you guys hear that? Give me a yes if that was better. Don, was that better? Okay, all right. But see if you don't agree with me. We have some problems. The music is a lot louder than the voice, correct? And the music goes a lot longer. It goes It goes 7 seconds longer, at least. Okay, we don't need to do all that stuff. All right. It's very scratchy. Okay, well, you know, I really can't. We're not doing this for audio quality. Believe me, it's just fine digital quality stuff. It's just the way it's going over the thing here because I'm operating with. I got some speakers on the desk which are near the microphone, and that's, you know, so you're hearing it in the room kind of funky. But you'll get the point of what we need to do. What we need to do now is we need to take this and make it so that it fits with this. Now, I'm going to look right here, and this is where I start talking. So, what I want to do is I'm going to go up here and I'm going to focus in a little more on that point. All right? And we're going to select a spot right at the beginning of the talking, and I'm going to use this tool to do it, the envelope tool. So I'm going to go here. It's not that envelope I want, it's this one. All right? Now the envelope tool gives me these little spots right here. And I'm going to want to put another one at the end of the talking. The end of the talking is right about here. Okay, and I'm going to go right about there and do it again. Now, I'm going to go right inside that one, and I'm going to squish it. down to about there. Now I can look at the gauge that's over on this side of things, and I can gauge where I am. I've just moved this to there. I'm going to go over here. Let me scroll out a bit so I see more at one time. Here's my other point. I'm going to make a point right inside, and there we go. And bring it down so that it's an even line. Now you can see, when I move this up, you can see the line crack and start to be in different levels. And if I get it right there, now it's a straight and even line. And what this is going to do is it's going to reduce the volume right there of this track. And then let it come up again. Now, that will work. Well, actually, I don't think I've done it in the right position here. I think I need to move that one. See what I'm doing? And then probably move this one. Whoa, no, that's not what I want to do. Undo that. Just move this. Okay, now let's see how they line up. All right, that probably lines up a little better. Let's see how this plays. You guys following me? Go back to the beginning, and now let's listen to it again. Welcome to Online Techniques. This is my online podcast where we talk about all the things you need to know to learn how to make money online. We've got a really good episode for you today. Sit back, relax, and learn all about making money from home on the internet. Welcome to Online Techniques. All right, now the only thing I want to do, a couple things. I want to open this up more. I want it to get, let's do this, so that it gets louder. Okay, and then I'm going to go over here. Let's see how that sounds. Welcome to Online Techniques. I think I'm going to leave it. Whoop, sorry, not that. I think I'm going to leave it. Right there, I can take this. That's my selection tool. And go like that and delete it. I'm just going to hit delete. Boom, it's gone. All right. Now, there's other things you can do. I can select this part right here, for instance, and then I can go up here to effects. Look at the effects. I can amplify it, auto duck, bass boost, change the pitch. I've got a complete compressor, equalization, and I can tell it to fade out if I want it to fade out. See what it did there? It faded out from here to here. Now I can get rid of the selection tool. Let's see. Okay, and play it from there. Boom. Okay, that is our introduction. Are you following me? I think this thing is just amazing. This is a free tool. These people give it to you, okay? So, now we've got our introduction. Now what we need is an outro. I'm going to rekey. Hold on just a second, just to make sure. Okay, now you should be hearing me again. Just want to make sure. Now, what we need is we need an outro, and I want to put it right here because I want to be able to import another audio and place it right in the middle, and then get rid of that audio and replace it with another one. In other words, I want my intro and my outro to be saved in one production. Now right here at this point, I'm going to save this. I'm going to save project as. And I'm going to go right to, hold on, My Documents, Online Techniques, Learning Wing, Podcast Lesson. And I'm going to save it as podcast template. All right? And it saves it in its own file format. It can only be opened by Audacity. Now, if you move the location of the files used here, you will lose this. Okay? In other words, if I go and I move the location of that loop 4 file, it won't know where to find it the next time when I open the project. Now, when I save an MP3, that's a whole different thing, okay? But we will not be doing that until next week. But right now, I want to finish my template. So I've got my introduction here in music and in my recorded voice. So what I'm going to do is, this is very cool. You won't believe this. I'm going to select this one. And wait a minute. I'm going to, here, this is a selection tool. I'm going to go from there to there. And I'm going to go edit, copy. All right. Now, I'm going to go down here, and I don't want that selection anymore. I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to simply say edit, paste. Boom. Now, I have put the same thing over here again. And all I'm going to do is my outro, and I'm going to time it. I want to, let's make this line up exactly with 40 seconds. All right. There. So I moved it. And what we're going to do is I'm going to start right at 40 seconds, and I'm going to create my tag by recording another audio. It'll go down here somewhere. At this point, we've got audio track 2, which is, if we go further over, that's my introduction. What the system is going to do is it's going to make another track down below. It's not going to add it here. It's going to make another one. And that's fine because we want to be able to move them separately. All right? And it's going to start right here. So I'm going to mute this one again. And I'll start talking right about here when the thing goes down, and I will definitely finish before this. Now, probably with an end tag, I don't know, I like the way that ends. So I may try and time it so that I'm done talking right here. But actually, I can do it any length I want, okay? Because I can always raise the volume over here and cut it off, you know, let it fade out. I can do whatever I want with it. But this gives me a good place to work with to keep the same format. And I just know that right around here, at this point, I start talking after 2.5 seconds or so. All right. You guys with me? You following what I'm doing? I'm going to mute this puppy and just go. That's it for this episode of Online Techniques. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back again in the next episode with all new information to help you learn everything you need to know about making money from home on the internet. Be sure to join us again and invite your friends here at the Learning Wing at Online Techniques. You can tell I've worked in this kind of stuff because I can time that thing. Now, if you want to see what happened, it created another one right down there. And if I want to... Now, this is kind of hard to look at, right? Because here's my outro music, and here's my stuff, and there's this guy in between. Well, guess what? I can move it. Just grab it here, and I can move it up here. Boom. So now both of these are together. And I can do whatever I want with them. I think one thing I want to do is I want to I think I want to move this a little bit that way. All right, and we can play it right from here. Whoops. That's it for this episode of Online Techniques. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back again in the next episode with all new information to help you learn everything you need to know about making money from home on the internet. Be sure to join us again and invite your friends here at the Learning Wing at Online Techniques. There we go. Now, I'm going to, just to clear this up so that there's no noise and things like that, let me go in on this track a little bit. I'm going to go to the end. I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to just delete that. I'm going to take that off. I don't like end noise like that. All right. Now I'm going to pan out so that we can see what we've done. Here is our introductory music, and down here is our introductory audio voiceover. And then here is our outro music, and here is our outro voiceover. Now, what this means is that we can come in here, we can save this as a project, save the project, boom. Now, we can come in here and we can import another audio and we can put it in this hole. And we can move these out and wherever we need to put them, and then we can go down, you know, we will leave. Let me move this up. All right. We will, whoops, nope, that went up too far. Let's move it down. Hold on. Ah, I can't get it to move up. I want this up there. All right, there we go. We can leave these two where they are. And then, see, this one already moved over. Oh no, it's in the right place. See, this one relates to this. And then we can put anything we want in here, in that time slot, and move this out, and then reposition this so it fits in the right place in regard to that. Okay? So this is our template. It is completed now, and that's what we're going to do tonight. Okay? This is all we're going to do. When we come back next week, I will show you the next steps. The next steps are getting your main audio into this template, and then putting that template, getting the plugin you need to do this, and to register it with iTunes and all that stuff, into your blog so that you can export this as an MP3 file, upload it to your blog, and get a semi-automated blog post on your website. Okay, so this is the first step, learning how to edit your audio. We're going to stop the sharing and come out of there and go back to here. There we go. All right. There. Now, were you guys able to follow that? I know I just gave you a lot of light. See, it got dark outside too. The lighting here just sucks. Okay. Is that cool? That is the neatest tool. It's completely free. Go download it. I just gave you bumper music. You got a week to play. And, you know, to just learn how to use this thing. You can use it for any kind of vocal recording you want. You can use it to edit any movie, music files that you can get your hands on for legal use. All right. I think I have to say that. All right. So does anybody have any questions? Any questions about that at all? Cool. I'm so glad it worked because I was so afraid of technical problems going on. But I apologize, if the sound wasn't that good on your end. it'll be fine when you do it yourself. So this is a really, really powerful thing as far as I'm concerned. And another really powerful thing, of course, is where I will probably see you next, which is with Janet and Don on Saturday. So Janet, if you would like to come up and let us know what we're doing, I got some time for you here.
Well, sure, why not? Hi, everybody. Great to be here on a Thursday evening and Saturday. Well, I'm going to be continuing on with some of the strategies we teach here on the internet through Contact List Builder. And more specifically, I'm going to show you a real-life example of what happens when you have a focused plan of action, when you have a dream inside you and you decide to take action. And what happens is you get a book. All right, so just 10 short months ago, my daughter had a dream. She talked about the dream. It became very exciting to her, and as she took action, this is what happened. We can apply everything that she did to create this to what we do here on the internet, because she really followed the strategies that I teach at Contact List Builder. So that's what I'm going to be talking about Saturday. It will be a real live example of how you can follow your passion and make things come true and make things come real for you, so that you can be making money here on the internet, because that's what it's all about. So join us on Saturday at noon Eastern. You'll find us at getlivetraining.com. So we have a new website where it's easy to find our training schedule, and we welcome you to come. It's an open call. And Steve, thanks for the time here to be able to share about those calls, because we love to invite everyone to come and join us. Noon Eastern, Saturday. Be there. GetLiveTraining.com. Thanks, Steve. That was a great call tonight, by the way. I actually really saw a new way to use the Audacity. I mean, I've used it before, but I kind of go, and you made things seem a little simpler for me. So thanks for that.
Cool. Well, I'm glad. Well, you know, I come from years and years of music and rock and roll and film, you know, where you learn to use that kind of stuff, and studios and all. I mean, I come back. My music days were from the days of 44-track studios. I spent half my life in a place called the Record Plant in downtown LA with 44-track studios with boards the size of Utah, you know, and 70-millimeter recording tape, right? 2-inch tape at $100 or $120 a reel, and you know, it was going by at 33 inches a second, so which is why recording used to be so expensive, and now it's like nothing. Hey, you Mac users, get a hold of GarageBand. What a thing! I mean, it's just, it's amazing. You know, studios are obsolete these days, and it's all because of little programs like Audacity. It's a very powerful thing, and you can use it to create all sorts of stuff. Remember, if you got a podcast coming off of your website, you've got links and keywords and stuff running around out there on some of the highest ranked sites in the world. iTunes is just a powerhouse. And so, you know, whatever you might think about it, even if you don't go listen to podcasts, it doesn't matter. Do you know how many kids are running around out there with their iPhones tuned into, you know, I want to search for something, boom, they search it on iTunes, you know, boom, and they come up, but because of the keyword they searched, they come up with your podcast and end up on your website. It's amazing. And you know, things like Audacity are really, really powerful because it can help you create quality content. We're with an entire generation now running around out there, like I say, with their iPhones. These kids are not going to put up with crappy content. You can't get away with the same thing you got away with 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Because now these people have grown up. It's an entire computer media oriented generation, and they have high standards as far as you know, how you put your content together and what kind of quality it is. So being able to do something like I just did, that's really huge, because it puts you that much, just that much above somebody who doesn't know how to do that. You know, so every little thing you can learn helps. I hope that one helped you tonight. And what we're going to do next week is we're going to get on with part 3. Go and play what you got with what you got now. All right? Next week we're going to come back. We're going to take that same project, and we're going to take the video, the audio from the video that we stripped in week 1, and we're going to place it in our project correctly. We're going to create an MP3 file from it, and then we're going to upload that in a podcast plugin into our blog. Okay? That's it. I hope you enjoyed yourself tonight. I hope you found it useful. I'm going to stop things for purposes of the movie. I will be around for questions. If anybody in the room has any more questions, thank you so much for being here. And listen, have a great week, everybody. And I'll see you here next Thursday night, 5 a.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Excuse me, 5 p.m. Not 5 a.m. 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, here in the Learning Wing at Online Techniques. Good night, everybody.